Happy Halloween, Rangers, and welcome back to the Power Rangers Monthly Gaming News Recap, a series where I recap all the gaming news that happened for Power Rangers that month. We got a ton of news this month, and unfortunately, not all of it is good. In fact, some of it you might say is a little scary. We're going to do things in a different order this month. Let's start with Renegade Ranger news. On October 11th, Renegade hosted another Renegade Con, where they revealed new expansions for some of their Power Rangers games, specifically the role-playing game and Heroes of the Grid. The role-playing game is getting a new sourcebook utilizing content from the Boom comics. Through the Shattered Grid gives players 2 new character roles, Magna Defender and Guardian of Eltar, 3 influences and 7 origins for your character, 15 contracts or allies, and 42 new threats to battle. This sourcebook is set to release in March next year. The next Heroes of the Grid expansion got its own reveal stream, which lasted a little over an hour. The first half of the stream was spent reminiscing about the first Kickstarter and how far the game has come, which made us fans suspicious and a little frightened. If you can't tell, this is where the bad news starts. Unfortunately, our suspicions were confirmed about 30 minutes in. Eternal Rangers is set to be the final Heroes of the Grid expansion released by Renegade. Note that I said released by Renegade. While Jonathan Ying and Renegade are moving on from Heroes of the Grid, Eternal Rangers will give us players the tools to create our own content, from Rangers to villains. This will give us the chance to have characters who are either more obscure, less popular, or unavailable due to licensing and such, even though it won't be in any official capacity. We did get some confirmed characters, and they are pretty exciting. On the playable side, we're getting the full core team of Mystic Force, as well as Ninja Black, Cosmic Fury Zenith, and Turbo Blue. On the flip side, we're getting some pretty scary villains as well. Master Zedd, Evil Dino Fury Blue, Death Ranger, and even Lord Draken in his 3rd evolution. And these are just the ones we know about from the reveal stream. More info is coming soon. But Eternal Rangers is not the only box in the last wave. This final Kickstarter doesn't have the other expansions confirmed at this time, as this wave is still in development, but it does have a ton of stretch goals planned. The core pledge, just a basic option to support on Kickstarter, alone has 18 unique figures for Rangers and villains, and over 200 cards of varying types, including more Mastermind cards, which haven't been seen since Rise of the Psycho Rangers. This final Kickstarter is set to go live in Q1 2025, anytime from January to March. Now on to Legacy Wars. We didn't really get any news regarding the game until about midway through the month, and the first piece of news we have isn't good. As of October 15th, certain sanctioned countries can no longer download the game or updates for it. This just means that those countries cannot receive updates for the new characters and such. Supposedly, the game will return in those countries, but we don't know when as of yet. This came days after it was announced that Heroes of the Grid was ending, and that a certain auction was going on, so this appeared to be dire news for the game. With this in mind, I sent a heartfelt message to Enway support, asking for an honest answer to whether or not Legacy Wars was about to end, or if that revitalization is still coming, as we've seen no such thing and it's been almost a year since we first got wind of it. The responder once again reassured us that the game isn't going anywhere, it's just that Enway isn't allowed to distribute to sanctioned countries, which is understandable. The responder also said that they're still working tirelessly on improving the game and making it more exciting. It's just that these changes can take longer than expected. I don't want to spread baseless rumors, but if it's taken over 10 months to work on a revitalization of sorts, this must be big. Legacy Wars may get a massive update soon, and of course, I'll be here to break it down when it happens. Not long after this, the next character stormed into the grid. With the stolen power of the Morphin Masters, Master Zedd made his way to the game. A legendary attacker, Master Zedd is a professional juggler. His only weakness is that he requires you to be up close and personal in order to land most of his moves. Aside from that, Zedd is a beast, and this is a great rework of sorts. Even his assist is crazy, which travels all the way across the stage and has a total of 11 hits. It sets up so many awesome combos, and even replaced Movie Zack in my main team. Not to mention Zedd's super, a 13-hit attack that deals a colossal amount of damage as he writes his initial in the air with you as his canvas. If you can get past the close range requirement, Master Zedd is probably one of the most fun, but not broken, characters we've had in quite a while. With the Master Zedd Halloween update, we received another balance update. Unfortunately, this one is pretty small, and the changes are, let's just say, questionable. Aside from fixing Zenith Ranger Zeto's super, they only changed 3 characters, and out of the 5 banned warriors from Casual, they only touched 1, Rocky. And they didn't even really nerf him that much. They actually buffed his assist so it's crazy fast, but aside from that, they just slightly nerfed his leader's damage and made it harder to juggle with him. They also changed Mastodon Sentry, which no longer freezes time with a stacked activation. In fact, you can no longer see the full animation for call reinforcements, just the startup. They also made his damage line up with the rest of the epic warriors in the game, because, balancing or something. Lastly, they buffed Ranger Slayer's leader, and ruined her assist. Her assist can no longer land all of the arrows fired, only one, as they are now spread out like Dragon Shield Kimberly's assist arrows, and all of them stun. This was done so you could land at least one arrow no matter where you activated the assist, but this was unnecessary in my opinion and many of my viewers. The leader doesn't necessarily need a buff, but some of the changes were pretty cool. She now has a dash cancel activated hidden move like Mastodon Sentry, but it's only her 3-hit combo without the first hit. It's harder to juggle with savage shots, but not impossible. The really good changes are in her block breakers, however. Blast Trap, now called Ground Shot, now automatically adjusts depending on how far away the opponent is, which is super cool, and Blast Blitz got the Draken treatment and is much faster now. Though you get punished for missing it as it takes longer for you to be able to dash out of the move if you whiff the attack. Overall, this balance update was decent, but anyway should have focused on the characters that they banned from Casual Tuesday or Friday instead. Speaking of which, Turbo Tommy is no longer banned from Casual, but Ion is. Just thought I'd throw that report in there. Our last piece of news this month came from Digital Eclipse, with a new trailer for Rita's Rewind. The game now has a release date. Rita's Rewind is set to release on December 10th. You can pre-order the game now. That's a wrap for this month. If you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't, and tune in for the November edition of the Power Rangers Monthly Gaming News Recap. Until next time, this is Shard Collector, signing off.